Well, hello once again. This is me, Leonard Wells, broadcasting as usual from HASLINGDEN, north of Manchester in the UK, on Friday the 16th of September 2011. HASLINGDEN is 30 miles or 50 kilometres due north of Manchester in the UK. I want to talk a little bit about the problems with banking. Actually, it would be much better if we called it wanking, because I refer to a wanker as somebody who doesn't do what I call a proper job. He just plays silly beggars with other people's money. And as we've seen with the banks, and in particular these so-called rogue traders, like the one yesterday who lost something like $2 billion for the United Bank of Switzerland, UBS, they play silly beggars on a big scale, huge scale. And you may not appreciate on what kind of scale that these guys play, but they're constantly gambling with money, placing bets that certain currencies will go down and certain currencies will go up, and they have machines, computers, which buy and sell shares every millisecond, so that if there's a profit, it will take it in a fraction of a second and then buy back and then sell again and sell again. And this goes round and round and round. We don't realise it's like having a sort of a few thousand Las Vegases all around the planet. And the problem is that we rely on these guys in the banks for our normal way of life. Banks help businesses through difficult times, and they help businesses to grow and to improve and to invest and do much needed research. But when the name of the game is playing roulette this way, then it's about time we said we're not having this, because it's too dangerous. We don't like this kind of legalized gambling. It rocks the boat too much, and we're going to stop it. Or at least we're going to make it very difficult for you to do it. And they keep trying. I mean, every time you put the news on, it's full of what the markets are doing. Oh, the markets are doing very badly today. Oh, the stocks have plummeted. And when you actually read the article or listen to the news item, it's gone down 5%, and they're talking about plummeting. So they like to use this sort of, this depressing exaggeration to fill the news bulletins. Now they've got to fill these news bulletins because they're there every hour. So any story that's around, like, the Eurozone, let's say that there's rumours that the Euro might collapse in half an hour and all this sort of business. Well, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but that's the impression you get. Well, it isn't going to happen. Do they think people were born yesterday? Can you imagine for a moment what would happen to Greece, Greece's currency that is, if it were to leave the euro and go back to Greek drachma? First of all, the currency would be practically worthless, because if it couldn't handle a euro, heaven help it when it gets back to Greek drachma. People wouldn't want to hold it for a start. Secondly, all the debts that it had would stay in euros, and so with its useless currency, it would be 50% higher, the debt. So just on those two facts alone, it isn't going to happen. And if it did happen, it would affect us all. It's all very well Britain sitting on the outside like a delicate damsel on a honeymoon night, afraid to come out of the bathroom. But we're not immune from these things. We've got the biggest load of what I call spiv gamblers in the world in London. That's what they've turned it into. Mrs. Thatcher's mates have turned London into a multi-level Las Vegas. Now, I'm not saying that all of the city is bad. I mean, the insurance, Lloyd's of London, does a very good job. But they make a blooming packet at it as well. And all these poor bankers who are complaining that their £1 million bonuses are being taxed at 50%. Well, hard cheese. When I was in the Inland Revenue, many moons ago now, in 1968, the top rate of tax was 97.5%. That would make their eyes water. But you see, what people don't realise is that when we found North Sea oil, Mrs. Thatcher used that bonanza to help the rich by cutting their taxes. She didn't use it to help the poor, she used it to help the rich. Well, I've waffled on about bankers, or rather wankers as I call them, and I hope you ladies of delicate disposition will forgive me for using such a, how should we say, rather appropriate term. And I'm going to say cheerio. I'm going to say God bless while it's still legal here in the UK to say God bless. And it wouldn't surprise me if one day soon it wasn't. Take care. Bye for now. Cheerio.